Welcome to the Butts and Seats Podcast, episode number 82.
You almost forgot it there, didn't you?
I did. I'm Nick alongside Emily.
As always.
Emily, how you doing today?
Good. You know, better than this episode was. Not that it was even bad, it was just boring.
Yeah, it's been a couple days and I feel like we've kind of forgotten.
We have. We both had to sit here and read over our notes. Be like, oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Like, nothing happened. So you're in for a doozy.
Today we're talking about the February 7th, 2000 WCW Monday Nitro live from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Woo! Hey, what's Tulsa backwards, Nick?
A slut. Yeah, you happy with that one?
I mean, I'm not the one that made the joke.
Look, by the time this comes out, we still aren't married. I still have time to call it off.
I am not the one that made the joke. Don't blame it on me.
So I'd say let's get into the show, but I do have a few backstage notes of things happening in the world of wrestling at this time.
Ooh.
I will start by saying that this show did a 2.7.
Okay.
Which is the second worst rating they've done since July of 96.
In like current day 2023 market, 2.7 doesn't sound that bad.
We've been over this.
I know it's different. I know it's different, but like when you say 2.7, like it doesn't sound that bad, but in comparison to what 1999, 2000 were, it's very bad.
The only show that did worse than this one since then was the last Nitro before Vince Russo showed up.
Cool.
Somewhere in New York, Vince McMahon announced the XFL the first time.
I feel like you've been waiting for that one.
Again, they don't play for another year.
Fun fact, Nick had tickets. Were they season tickets?
They were season tickets.
To the XFL when it relaunched in 2019.
Yeah, it didn't go great.
No, you went to what? 3 games?
Three games. Yeah, and then...
I was supposed to go to a game.
You were?
And I didn't. And then the 2020 pandemic happened.
We were supposed to go to WrestleMania, too.
Sure were, Nick.
We were talking about how bad the ratings are. So, as we talked about on the episode, Sold Out did 95,000 pay-per-view buys.
Okay.
The Royal Rumble happened recently for WWF.
Okay, this almost doesn't feel fair because the Royal Rumble is a massive event. That's like one of their like flagship events every year. That is second to WrestleMania.
I mean, it usually had a better number, but not, it wasn't like a WrestleMania number.
Yeah, it's second to WrestleMania is what I said.
But the Royal Rumble did 600,000 buys.
Yeah, so like this almost doesn't seem fair. I don't know, this feels like a biased data pool.
We'll check back in when No Way Out happens.
That's probably more realistic, yeah.
And I'm going to tell you this. Ain't doing no 95,000 buys.
Sure, but that is more apples to apples. Sold Out to Royal Rumble, that's like apples to Beanie Babies. They're entirely different realms of reality.
Okay.
I think.
Apples to Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
What a phrase. And apparently, in the land of extreme, Sabu has not been getting paid and has just signed a deal with WCW.
Oh no.
We will not see Sabu wrestle at all.
Sick. So we will not see him on the 13th.
I don't really know what happens here.
Clearly
There's a
nothing.
pay dispute. It might be a weird thing of Paul Heyman. I know he threatens to sue if he shows up on WCW, but he never shows up again. So
is this like trying to leverage pay with ECW? Is that what he's trying to do?
He doesn't go back to ECW either.
So he just floats in the ether.
Yeah. Well, so with all that, let's get into this show. We start with a Nitro recap and Thunder recap. They show bits of the Hulk Hogan promo. He's not here tonight.
Yeah, I don't really know why they showed it. But at least it's more than we saw of it.
He's very specifically burying Billy Kidman on radio interviews right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I know they worked together at some point. I don't know how soon that is.
But why is he burying him if they work together?
I mean, it might also be a chicken and egg thing where they might be put together because...
When you say work together, do you mean put in a feud against each other or
Yes.
as a tag team?
In a feud.
To me, work together sounds like they're tagging up.
Gotcha. No, it'd be in a feud. I don't know when that... I think it's for a little while, though. But Hogan also, in his Hogan wisdom, is saying, oh, I don't know why they have Billy Kidman main eventing when I'm not there. It's like, point to the show where Billy Kidman main evented.
So he's mad that Kidman is main eventing. Why?
He couldn't sell at a flea market, brother. Why is he...
But Hogan, you're not there. Why do you care?
Because it's damaging the brand while he's gone.
You don't give a shit about the brand.
I know.
Why do you care? Come back if you have such a problem with it.
I'll be back soon.
Also, Billy Kidman can wrestle circles around Hulk fucking Hogan. Billy Kidman can actually wrestle. Hot fucking take. Hulk Hogan's a bad wrestler. That is my hill and I will die on it. He's not a good wrestler. He doesn't know how to wrestle.
We got Tony Schiavone and Mark Madden on commentary. Nobody else this week. I'm like, God damn.
I didn't find them that distracting, though.
During their like to camera bits, just Mark Madden just looks like a prick.
I mean, sure,
Sitting side saddle.
he's very
Who do you
easy.
think you are?
Very easy to ignore.
We get the NWO backstage with some salutes.
Some salutes.
They say Nash will be back soon. They mumble. And then the 3 count song
There's a lot
plays.
of that happening. There's a lot of mumbling and a
No.
lot of... This episode felt like the worst because they were playing music over the mumbles every time. They were playing somebody's... So in this case, they were playing 3 counts music over the NWO mumbles. In another case, they're playing somebody else's walkout music over the mumbles. We never get clean audio of the mumbles, which like wouldn't be clean audio anyway, but there's never like just them talking. It's always them talking with music over them.
Yeah.
Which makes it impossible to hear. So I never know what they're talking about.
And so, by the way, when I say Kevin Nash will be back soon, he's back on Thunder, and they're like already teasing NWO breakup.
He's not back in person, though.
No, he's back via recording.
Yeah.
Which I assume he's there.
I can't tell. It says he's live from Atlanta. I don't know where Thunder is. But
Probably not Atlanta.
he was like talking back. So like, yeah, it felt like a little too closed circuit for him to be far away.
Yeah, that was
year
what I thought
2000,
too.
like-
yeah.
Technology's not that good. It's not like we're on FaceTime.
And he was like ad-libbing too, so it wasn't like it was like this. It wasn't Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and Mankind all in the same room kind of thing.
Right. Nothing was pre-recorded.
So the 3 count song starts playing at the end of the segment.
Beautiful.
And then we get the opening pyro. 3 counts in the ring to cut a promo. And their song starts playing mid-promo. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And like, oh, we cut to Norman Smiley in the truck. And he's messing with their music.
Yeah, he's like being a little fucker.
Norman's music then hits, and he has to walk his way from the truck to the arena. So it takes a little while.
I guess like it confuses me how hated 3 count are. Like they get crazy boos, and I don't totally understand why. Like they're a boy band and it's a gimmick and whatever, but they are so hated, and I don't understand. I don't see why.
Probably some good old-fashioned 2000... No, we're not gay. We don't like this.
Boy bands aren't inherently like gay.
I don't know.
Boy bands are for girls.
Yeah. So if you like it,
You're a girl?
yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't make
And if you're a
sense
girl,
for
you're gay,
me.
Emily. God.
It doesn't make sense for me. Like they're not bad enough and cringy enough. Maybe we're not seeing all of it because of like
They-
copywritten shit, but
Yeah, we have not properly seen the entrance yet, and you
I
refuse
guess.
to let me show you.
well, it's just like they're not doing anything heinous enough to be booed to the extent that they are in my mind. It's crazy how much booze they
They're getting
get.
like Dominic Mysterio level heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Norman comes out for Norman Smiley versus Evan Courageous. Norman hits a wiggle on Evan Courageous, but it gets turned into a facebuster. Norman rolls through a pin and grabs Courageous' tights for the win. That's it.
That's all the notes you have for that?
Yeah, do you have more?
Damn. No, I mean, I guess not for the match, but I don't take the play-by-play on the matches. I thought that was longer than that.
Not really. Norman challenges the 3 of them for Super Brawl.
Yeah, he makes some sort of comment about, like, if you want to make a name for yourselves, I'm going to take all 3 of you at Super Brawl. So it's going to be a handicap match.
Yeah, I continue to like Norman's energy.
Oh, yeah, Norman's great. Norman's not the problem here.
No. We get Tony and Mark checking in. Mark is a prick, but not in a fun way. Later tonight, it's going to be Terry Funk versus David Flair in an I Quit match. We'll hear from the total package. Kidman versus the Demon. Booker T. Sorry, not Booker T. I shouldn't say that. Booker.
Ooh, yeah, you're going to get
Versus
sued
the
by
Wall.
Mr. Biggs.
Stevie Ray versus Disco Inferno.
Which, wow. What a killer's row of lineups there.
And we then throw to backstage where Mr. Biggs has police searching for contraband.
So Mr. Biggs every week seems to have more bandages on him. So like he is still like fully casted out. I think it's like both of his arms are in a cast. He's still wearing the neck brace.
He got attacked last week, so...
I know, but it seems like more from last week. Like it seems like he's adding to it.
Well, he didn't have anything last week because he got hurt last week.
No, we saw him in something. In like Thunder after last week or something.
Maybe it was Thunder.
Yeah, I've definitely seen him in a neck brace since then, since the attack. But this feels like more since we saw him in the neck brace. I feel like he's like hamming it up.
No, in wrestling?
As part of the story, can you let me fucking talk? No, it seems like Mr. Biggs is trying to like pull some kind of shenanigans backstage against Booker for something. Like they're trying to find something on him. I don't know. But like the entire mid card is in this back dressing room.
Yeah, I'm realizing now, by contraband, were they literally looking for like...
Drugs?
No,
Steroids?
I think they're looking for like any Harlem Heat gear or anything saying Booker T.
Oh, maybe. That was not made clear.
It was
though.
not made clear. I think I'm filling in some blanks there. We get the NWO heading towards the ring. A limo's here. It's 3 women and Ric Flair.
Woo!
NWO music hits, and Scott Steiner comes out wearing the silliest of hats.
Nick physically choked when Scott Steiner came out. Like, he spit his drink out.
Even the Godfather's like,
it's a bit much.
Tone it down, bud.
He comes out. I don't even know what his outfit was, but he's wearing a purple velour top hat with a feather and like a zebra band. I think
it's a trip.
Yeah, there's like a zebra print band around the base of the top hat,
and there's a feather
with a feather. Yeah, it's something.
We go for the Hey-O spot, and Mark Madden is like screaming on a commentary, like, say it, like fucking Harvey Dent in the Dark Knight.
Yeah, I think even Scott Hall heard that and was like, dude, no. Because of you, no. I'm not going to do it.
The Harris boys fill in some blanks here. Stay out of their way. They're the Elite.
I didn't know the Elite debuted this early. I know they're really big right now, but I had no idea they were made of two Nazis. Who'd have thunk? I don't know anything about the Elite. I'm sorry if that was offensive. I'm sure they're great. I don't know the Elite. I don't watch AEW like that because I don't get that channel.
They couldn't manage a Target, Emily.
Listen, okay, so I heard a conspiracy theory the other day.
God.
About Target.
Make it brief.
Everybody has applied to Target. Do you know anybody that's been hired by Target?
Yes, we know multiple people who worked at Target.
I've met a lot of people that have applied to Target and no one has gotten hired.
We know multiple people who have worked at a Target.
Oh, I guess they do kind of. But this was a whole conspiracy, and like somebody at work was talking about this. Like high schoolers, they always like Target always advertises like, if you're in high school, that's fine, we can hire you. I had a bunch of friends in high school. I remember applying to this Target. Not one got called. Listen,
as somebody who used to work at GameStop, it's like, yeah, it seems like one of those jobs people just apply for and no one gets.
That's the conspiracy. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
So Scott Steiner grabs the mic. But in this hat, I cannot take him seriously.
No, but he doesn't even do the whole, like, talk. He gives it to the ladies.
Well, yeah, he's the best at sex, and the women say so.
Yeah, we have not heard the best at sex promo in a while. It has been a minute. But now he's got cited sources.
So Steiner then like randomly shits on Ric Flair and was like, WCW sucks. This is apparently not a designed part of the promo.
No?
He's just going into business for himself here.
I mean, it doesn't seem rehearsed.
He's like, why didn't they hire Buddy Rogers, the original Nature Boy? Oh yeah, because he's dead.
No, but like that last part felt like an aside. It was like, oh, I know he's dead, God rest his soul. But like, yeah, that's why they didn't hire him, dude. He died like years ago. It's not like he died yesterday. He died a long time ago, man.
I can't imagine Scott Steiner promo going, God rest his soul.
He literally said that.
Did he?
Yeah. I wrote down the quote. I know he's dead, God rest his soul.
He also accuses Ric Flair of getting Steve Austin fired back in, I guess, the early 90s.
He accused Ric Flair of being the reason why people watch WWF and not WCW because he got Stone Cold fired. Which is like a hot take. Like, that's a hot take.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of reasons why people are not watching WCW, and I don't think it's entirely Stone Cold.
Especially because he's been out for the last couple months at this point.
Right. Oh, but he wouldn't have been out for this long if he stayed in WCW, brother.
So this is weird, because he's in the NWO, he's like not in WCW, so I'm going, WCW sucks, but it kind of comes off legit, like, yeah, this show is bad.
I think everyone's starting to turn on the product. But this whole promo just like fell apart.
Yeah. Well, here's Jeff Jarrett. We're back in slap nuts country.
And that got a woo. Like,
slap
woo?
These nuts. Slap these nuts.
Oh my god, if that was a chant, I would die.
We can start it. We gotta go back to AEW.
Gotta go to an AEW show. I'll never forget the jump scare of Jeff Jarrett at that one AEW show we went to. I'll never forget.
Jeff Jarrett says he isn't done with Sid. At the pay-per-view, Slick Johnson's going to be the referee, and it's now no DQ. Which, admittedly, if you have a crooked ref, you kind of don't need the no DQ stipulation. Right. It actually hurts you more than it helps you. Jarrett then says he has all the stroke, and then books Scott Hall versus Sid in the main event of tonight.
I was kind of hyped for this match. This could have been good.
In kayfabe, Scott was completely unaware of this. And
it was kind of anti.
Yeah, and it's also not a title match.
No, it's just like a fuck you match.
So Scott Hall feigns injury, and Jarrett's like, "No, I know you're cleared."
Yeah, he says it a bunch of times. Like, "No, you're cleared, man. You got medically cleared. You can wrestle."
So it's been 6 weeks.
It's been 84 years.
It's been 6 weeks, I want to say, and we're already doing dissension in the NWO.
Oh yeah, that didn't take long.
And it seems like legit dissension,
as opposed to,
oh, it's a swerve. We've been together the whole time.
Oh, we're getting the band back together. Yeah, no.
Or you'd be like, you can't break up the band that easy.
Yeah, no. It's almost like these guys don't have chemistry together and don't belong in a faction together because this NWO sucks.
Yeah.
At least the old MWO, it's like, they're fucky buddies or whatever. Like,
Yeah, because admittedly, Scott Steiner does not feel like he's part of the NWO.
No.
He just feels like he's just
either.
here additionally.
Exactly. He didn't feel like it the first time around either. He was just like an addition.
We did miss some of that, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. He was never like a key player in the NWO.
So we have our main event for later. We go backstage. Mean Gene interviews we never gave him a name.
I just called them Dave and Friends.
Gene asks about David Flair's match tonight. David says he's going to fight his father's battle for him. And Crowbar just says, we're totally going to interfere later.
So I didn't catch any of the words that David said in this because Daphne and Crowbar were like fucking around behind Dave and Mean Gene. They were playing like thumb wars. Daphne was sticking her tongue out, making faces. Like, I love these two. I don't love David, but I love these two.
You know, now that I look back at my notes, does Crowbar actually do anything during that match?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
There was no interference as far as I can remember.
I just have him coming out with David, and then they kind of vanish.
David literally, yes, David sends them to the back.
Yeah.
They get halfway down the ramp. David turns around and is like, no, you guys leave. But that's for later.
Let's go to Booker with Midnight versus The Wall. Booker comes out to like generic Disney Parks music.
So I build this as Italian video game music. Or
it was not the same song as last week.
No. It also sounds like The Sims build mode music, if you know, you know.
If the Mamalukes play The Sims.
Yeah.
So we also get Booker in trunks. Thoughts?
Anti. I hate the trunk look. I know I'm in the minority for this. I hate them coming out in their undies.
Got the main event pants.
No, it looks so stupid. Pants look so much better. The Speedo shorts that Triple H wears for a while, bad. But it's got to be pants. I need pants.
Hold on. You're losing our UK audience because pants is the trunks. Tights you want.
Leggings. Full pant. Like,
yeah.
I don't, what's the word for pants?
Tights. Or hold on. There's like...
If you're wearing pants in the UK, what are you wearing?
Trousers.
Okay. I want to wear trousers. How about that?
Well... You know, you want him to wear the like leggings tights.
Yes.
You don't want the like R-Truth full like jeans.
No. I like wrestlers in leggings. I do not like them in the undies. I think that looks really bad. Personally, I know I'm in the minority. I get it, but like I think it looks really stupid. I feel like the only person that kind of pulled off the undies is Triple H. Just because he's so fucking massive, I don't think the guy can fit into pants.
God, you know who I've not seen wrestle in the undies and be weird to? Is Edge.
I was literally just thinking that. I was like, did Edge ever wear undies? No, he's a pants man. Love it.
Regardless, not a fan of Booker in the trunks.
No, not in the undies. I don't like anybody in the undies.
We get a spin kick from Booker and then a 10-punch spot. The Wall throws Booker around, and then we get a double J sleeper from Booker, but the Wall gets out.
Yeah, the Wall is like actually wrestling in this match. I'm kind of surprised.
The Wall dives, but is hit with a side kick and then a scissor kick. And then, for the first time, we get it properly called.
The Spinaroonie!
Yeah, they called it Spinaroonie.
I don't like the Spinaroonie, but I'm happy that he got his move.
I feel like you've been more okay with it.
I have. I am more okay with it when it is useful in a match. Like, if he's using that to get up, great. If he's using it as a taunt, stupid. I know I'm in the minority. I don't care. Yeah. You know who we never see in undies? The Wall.
It's early.
He's still in the tie phase.
We get a bookend from Booker and he goes up top, but the Wall stops him. We then get Mr. Biggs coming out with the cops.
He just chills on the ramp while they do this match.
The Wall wins the chokeslam, and then the cops arrest Booker.
Yeah, they get multiple cops, 3 or 4 cops in the ring to arrest Booker, who is entirely complacent during this, just not fighting back. But he's getting arrested for the assault last week. We never really figure out what Mr. Biggs' plan for Booker was, because when he was doing his shenanigans in the back room, he's like, oh, I've got something for Booker later. Is it just the cops?
I think so.
Okay. Then why were you in the back room?
Tension.
That's not tension.
Yeah, this match was okay.
It was very much like a story building match.
Yeah.
This was not about the wrestling.
I continue to be puzzled by what they're doing with the Wall.
In my mind, they're doing nothing with him.
But sometimes they do. That's the problem. It's like one week he's buds with Sid, the next week jobber.
Yeah, he seems more like a jobber than anything.
Yeah, 1 week he's beating Billy Kidman on pay-per-view. The next week, back to being a jobber. Here, he's beating Booker, admittedly with help.
You know who we haven't seen in a while?
Berlin.
Yeah. Where the hell is he? He's not on Thunder. We're watching Thunder.
Eating schnitzel.
Guten Tag.
I want to say he comes back as Alex Wright again at some point, so I don't know when they give up on that. Let's go backstage. Brian Knobbs complains to the NWO. And
oh my god, this fucking idiot.
He's like, yeah, why'd you swerve me last week? And Jeff Jarrett's like, I promise I won't this week. Knobbs like, okay.
He might as well have been like comically putting his like crossed fingers behind his back. I'm like, no, I won't do it this week. And Knobbs is like, all right.
And then
I believe ya.
Jarrett immediately books Knobbs versus Bam Bam.
Fucking dumbass. Brian Knobbs literally was just like, I don't like how you swerved me last week. And Jeff Jarrett is just like, I'm going to do it again. Like, Brian Knobbs is an idiot.
Yeah.
He's the stupidest person on this card.
I mean, I think he's meant to be a bit dense.
Dense is one thing. This is a whole other thing.
Later on, we'll get Ric Flair teaming with Sting, where he promises, I won't turn on you. No, but actually relatedly to that, we get Arn Anderson confronting Terry Funk.
Dissension.
Arn isn't sure where he stands in terms of the whole Funk Flair thing.
Yeah, neither do I, fucker. Like, I don't know.
Terry Funk does not like that, so I wonder how much Arn is going to be a player in this.
I mean, I'm kind of on Arn's side. Like, what was that? Where do any of you guys stand right now? What's happening? What's he playing?
Elsewhere backstage, Lenny and Lodi make insider references, and I just don't care.
I don't know what's going on with them.
Well, they're about to get a new gimmick.
Oh, good. They want that.
They're going to dress like the Hardy Boys and go by the name 2XS.
Okay.
Like Team Extreme.
2XS. That's worse. Team Extreme is also not good.
So they do it on Thunder, and then some lawyers go, absolutely not. And so then they become just XS.
Like the letter X, the letter S?
Yes, like extra small.
I'm sure that's not going to become a problem or a joke on commentary or anything.
Extra small also describes my interest in seeing them on my television screen.
Well, they're probably going to stay on Thunder.
Who knows, man?
We are running low on talent.
We then get...
Speaking of running low on talent...
We get the Barbarian versus Tank Abbott.
Why?
I think I correctly called it was the Barbarian. You're like, how do you know that?
Who the fuck is the Barbarian?
He's Meng's former tag team partner. We would have seen a little bit of them, like I don't know, like part of the First Family, like that kind of broke up.
Okay. Did the First Family live above the Dungeon of Doom?
Shut the fuck up.
That resided within the Legion of Doom, with Sting's crow on the roof.
You know who actually becomes a honorary member of the Dungeon of Doom?
Who?
Johnny the Bull, who I don't know if you're aware of this, Emily, but goes on to become Relic. And Relic is killer spelled backwards.
Okay, I deserve that.
By the way, no, that's... Well, sorry, the second part, Relic is killer spelled backwards. That's true. But,
are you sure?
But Johnny the Bull is nowhere near the Dungeon of Doom.
No, they wouldn't let him in the Legion, and the Legion wouldn't let him downstairs into the dungeon. There's no way. With the First Family living upstairs? Absolutely not.
I'm trying to think how many members of the actual Legion of Doom there were. I think over time there was 5, but never at once. I think it was most 3.
Oh wow, Legion's very selective.
Well, it was Hawk and Animal, and then they kept doing like, we'll bring somebody else in, and then one of them died, so they brought in Heidenreich.
You gotta like pay your dues to stay in the Legion. It's like the American Legion.
Did you just imply he
No.
like, pay his dues to the Legion? Oh, and to tie it back in, one of the members would have been Paul Ellering, who turned on Legion of Doom upon returning, like the first day, to manage the Harris Boys.
Oh God.
And that's when he became Mr.com.
The manager-managee relationship is a lot more fun if you think of it in terms of like father and son.
Well, not to get too off the rails, Paul Ellering was actually the legitimate manager for the Legion of Doom.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the Nazis are in the Legion
No, the Nazis are not
proxy?
in the Legion. No. Pun accidentally intended. We're DOA.
Oh, shit.
Disciples of the Apocalypse, but...
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Anyway.
Barbarian versus Tank Abbott. The Barbarian attacks Tank before the bell. Tank knocks out the Barbarian and wins. It's just not interesting. It's not fun.
You're confused on what they're doing with the wall. I'm confused what they're doing with Tank Abbott. Because if they are trying to build Tank Abbott up to be like the next Goldberg or like big guy like that, this is not how you do it.
They want him to beat a bunch of people.
But beating a bunch of like nobodies, that's not building them up as this big scary guy.
Admittedly, that's what they did with Goldberg early on.
But Tank Abbott has done this for a while now. He hasn't graduated.
I mean, Goldberg did it for a good amount of months too. Yeah.
It feels like he moved up way faster.
When we started watching, he was the world champion. So this all happened before we started watching.
I guess, but he just didn't have a very like long career.
I think part of the other issue is that we saw Tank Abbott and then Tank Abbott disappeared for a little while.
Yeah, maybe. You go back
and nothing he's doing is memorable, so
he's not coming across as this unbeatable beast.
And part of it's because the matches aren't fun. It's just a punch.
Yeah, this was like a one-hit KO.
Yeah, I mean, it took Goldberg about 9 months to go from debuting to win the title. We see the UFC bodyguard again, who Bobby Heenan interviewed the other week.
Yeah, I totally forgot about this guy.
I missed his name the first time.
Oh, God.
And Emily, it's Big Al.
There was blood on the saddle. Talk about a niche joke. No one's going to know what we're referencing.
You know what? If you know, you know. I lost my shit when I heard his name was Big Al. Tank just ignores Big Al.
How dare you? How dare you ignore Big
Check
Al?
the saddle. It's covered in blood.
It's blood all around.
We go backstage. The demon casket is here. Crowbar investigates. Daphne screams.
I was really hoping that Crowbar would get into the casket and we'd get Demon Crowbar. Or like Kiss Crowbar. I don't know. I wanted that. So I think Crowbar would do that like really well. He would play that gimmick up.
I mean, admittedly, they just changed who did the gimmicks, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, maybe you should have given it to Crowbar.
I mean, Crowbar would do better than whoever the fuck is actually the Kiss Demon.
Dale Torborg.
Dale Torborg. What a name.
We then see the Kid Cam. He's here to film naked women.
Oh, yeah.
Your boy's problematic, Emily.
Yeah, Tori even looks at him and is like, "Did you ever turn that camera off?" And he says, "Not when there are naked girls around." Billy. William.
Billy, I think in reality, but at least in kayfabe, you were having sex with Tori Wilson. You're doing fine.
Yeah, stop trying to, like, do more. You're doing fine. Stop it. Take your winnings and go home.
Why does Wikipedia lie to me, Emily?
You know, this is actually a really, like, you felt really validated in this segment. So at least there is that going into this.
Because, admittedly, and I don't blame them, it feels like people stopped caring to take notes during the last year or two of WCW. Because, Emily, who's here?
Oh, it's the head of the women's division.
It's fucking Oklahoma.
Never forget that he's the head of the women's division.
But by the way, I thought, I'm like, oh, they're going to call him Ed Ferreira. No, they call him Oklahoma.
Oh, no, he's still fully Oklahoma.
You know where this is mentioned on his Wikipedia page?
Nowhere.
Fucking nowhere. You know this is mentioned like on anything. It's like, nope, Oklahoma disappeared after vacating the title.
So have you gone back into his Wikipedia page and edited it? Because, ta-da, you can.
I should.
You can save some poor soul in the future if they're trying to avoid this shit of a man.
I'm going to go and write, no, he keeps showing up, but give me time. I haven't gotten through all of it yet.
At the very least, he's on this date. Might come in the future. We'll see. TBD. But yeah, Oklahoma's here. Head of the women's division.
Yeah,
why?
Well, this also gets like a weird pop.
Well, we're in Oklahoma. That's why it got a pop, I think. Oh, we're in Oklahoma? His name's Oklahoma. Ah, it's funny. That's the pop.
He says that women have no place in wrestling, but they keep trying.
And it's adorable. He said it's adorable.
Oh, unrelated to anything. How did you enjoy the Fulfill Your Fantasy Battle Royal we watched on Taboo Tuesday?
Stop. Why do you keep making me watch?
Christy Hemme versus Carmella. Stop. And the extended changing sequence.
It's like you don't want me to like women's wrestling. You see it as like, oh, you think women's wrestling is the best part of wrestling? Let me show you why you're wrong. Like,
no,
stop it.
I want you to like the modern stuff even more because I want you to enjoy the sunny days because you are not
got some sunny days ahead.
You are not aware of the Hurricane Katrina of the mid 2000s of
like
women's
Hurricane
wrestling.
Tortilla.
What?
I've explained this fine to you before. I'm not doing it again.
Anyway, Oklahoma says there's going to be medical examinations that he'll be present for all the women.
Rigorous medical examinations that he has to be present for. Fucking disgusting. Ew, first of all, ew. You don't even come with me to my gynecology appointments. You're my fucking husband.
Oklahoma then calls out Dr. Jeter.
Any relation to Derek?
Somebody said that. No, I would assume not. Apparently Medusa is part of his clientele.
Okay.
And what have you done to Medusa? I can't say. Doctor-patient confidentiality. Ugh. Well, how about this? How about I just ask yes or no questions and you do that?
That's okay. Still doctor-patient confidentiality.
So they're like, all right, have you done her lips, her nose, her boobs, her butt, her like... Basically, if you worked on every part of her, and it's like, yes. And...
God bless Medusa. Really, truly, God bless her.
God bless her, but when they're highlighting all the work you've had done, and your boobs are somehow pushed like above your fucking shoulder blades...
I think she did get them like touched up or something.
It was just...
It's crazy.
I think part of it's just the outfit choice as well, but like...
They look amazing, but tits gone wild. Like, they're out and about.
So she beats up Dr. Jeter. I hate this. I know there's not a women's title going forward, so...
No, there's no women's division. Midnight's pretty much gone. Asia, haven't seen her in a long fucking time. I think she's gone.
Sherry Martel showed up on Thunder, but is nowhere to be seen
Nowhere to be seen. Medusa has no one to wrestle. Where's Molly Holly? She's gone. Even Spice is gone. We don't even have the fucking Nitro girls. There's no women backstage.
Stacy.
The hose. That's it.
So yeah, I hate this, and I don't have any faith in where it's going, and I dare say I can't wait for Vince Russo to come back, because I feel like this... Because I know he and Ed Ferreira have fallen out at this point, so Oklahoma will definitely be gone by then.
Don't say the sentence you just said. You know bad things come from that.
Yes, but I think this one is where all the schlock happens.
God, I hope so. I want fucking Viagra on a pole, man. I want everything on a pole, damn it.
Judy Bagwell.
On a pole. Put her up there.
Forklift.
No, I want the forklift to put her on a pole. I want her to raise up on the forklift and just sit on top of a pole.
I read that next Ric Flair heads to the ring. He doesn't. He's just roaming around backstage tonight.
Yeah, he's not really doing anything. He's just chilling.
We got Mean Gene backstage. He says he has some good news from Terry Taylor.
Remind me who Terry Taylor is.
Just a backstage person.
Okay.
Think like J.J. Dillon.
The man's wearing glasses.
Yeah. We go to commercial and back from commercial. Terry Taylor says that Slick Johnson is no longer the referee for the pay-per-view main event.
Okay.
And also that tonight's match is for the title.
Yeah, they make some sort of comment of like, we can't change who's in the match. We can change what's on the line.
Yes.
We can change the stipulation.
I don't
know why.
I don't get how all this works. Why can't they just fire Kevin Nash?
Great questions. These are all great questions. Why is there a Kevin Nash and also a chairman? Like, why is there that divide?
Jeff Jarrett isn't happy about this, but we cut away. Tony throws the clip of an old Terry Funk and Ric Flair feud, where apparently they had an I Quit match like back in the 80s.
Oh.
So next up, we have Terry Funk versus David Flair in an I Quit match.
So before we fully get into this, it turns out I was very confused what an I Quit match was.
Yes.
I thought an I Quit match was loser leaves the company. Like, I quit my job match.
That immediately makes a lot of sense. I thought that for a little while as well, early on in my wrestling fandom, and I don't know which one was the match that I realized, oh no, it's just a verbal submission. It's a verbal submission match.
It's just a submission match.
However, they are somewhat different things.
So I was fully convinced that Terry Funk was going to lose this match when they said it at the beginning of the show, because it's an I Quit match and Terry Funk doesn't need this. So leave the company, go do something else.
Do you know the main difference in how you win a submission match versus an I Quit match? Outside of the obvious tapping out versus saying I quit.
I guess no then.
In a submission match, you can lose by passing out. I Quit match, they have to say the words.
Oh.
Except the Goldberg Sid one. It's the only time we've done ref stoppage.
Well. Oh, that was the bloody one, wasn't it? Was that the one that Sid was like gushing blood and the ref was like, this is too much?
Yeah. Because like there's been times in I Quit matches where they're like, oh, the person's passed out. They need to like basically like wake him back up, and they like splash with some water.
Okay.
Or they do the Mick Foley thing where they knock him out and then do like play the audio kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that's the main difference in the two.
I did not realize that.
So Terry Funk comes out. He needs a better theme song.
I know nothing about it.
You know, I'm thinking something maybe Slow by the Eagles would really work well for him.
You're wrong.
Better than this.
I stand by. That's a horrible wrestling theme. Ugh. Awful.
Well, Terry Funk comes out, and the theme I don't think changes, and David Flair comes out. And I'm like, what?
You pay a lot more attention to the music. We've established. I didn't make any note of this music.
Kind of felt like the 4-chord song, where it's like, yeah, they're doing a different song, but it's just the same thing.
It's the same song. Dude, remember Conan? Where the hell's he?
Funny enough about that, Conan and Shane Douglas, WCW are like kind of trying to get rid of, and they're like, no, we're not sending our paperwork. We're getting a big fat check.
Good for them. I guess Rey Mysterio is not going to be back for a while either.
Who the fuck knows them?
Anyway.
So David Flair comes out with a crowbar and crowbar.
I was going to say with a crowbar? No, with crowbar.
He also had a crowbar with him.
Yes.
Funk has a mic and makes sure that David knows what he's getting into.
This is also when David sends Crowbar and Daphne back. Like, they don't even make it down the ramp. He just like, nope, get out of here. Go backstage.
David says he's going to hell before he quits. And Funk challenges Ric Flair, but David hits Funk with a chair.
Yeah, he, like, does not let Funk finish this. Because, like, honestly, Terry Funk just kind of, like, brushes off David of, like, I'm not wrestling this kid. This is stupid. My battle is with Rick. I don't care about your kid. And David's like, no, you're going to fucking care about me.
So David hits Funk with a chair, but Funk doesn't go down. They brawl around ringside, and Funk pulls the mats up and pile drives David onto the double mats.
I think it was after the chair shot is when you verbalized, like, Terry Funk is just spaghetti.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes his body just, all the bones fall out.
Because that's when I wrote the note. Occasional spaghetti Terry Funk. It's like that doll Betty Spaghetti. Remember her?
No.
You were a boy in the 90s. Never mind.
I was going to say, oh, God, with his spaghetti and all of Ric Flair's sauce, we're going to have a great meal at the pay-per-view.
The Mama Luke somewhere. Like,
they're laying in bed. Oh, no.
Anyway. So when Funk is pile driving David into the mats, the first one that he does, he flips the mat up and exposes the concrete, but does the pile drive onto the folded up part.
Yeah, so it was double
extra
mats.
Safe.
David refuses to quit, so then we do an actual pile driver onto the actual concrete. Like, Jesus.
It's like, oh, you fucking what?
Terry Funk then taunts Ric Flair to come out and then pile drives David through a table.
It actually broke correctly because they both stood up on the table and we were like, there's no way that this is not going to, this is going to break under them. But no, it actually waited until the move.
Terry Funk counts down from 5 to get Ric Flair to come out or he's going to really hurt David. He counts to 5. Flair doesn't come out. He calls Rick a chicken and quits.
Yeah, he's just like, I don't need to beat on this kid anymore. I'll quit tonight, but I'm damn sure not quitting when I get you out here in the same match.
I liked this.
This was not bad.
I like this as a story beat of trying to draw Ric Flair into a fight and then going, no, I'm not going to go too far with this.
Yeah, like,
I've already probably gone farther than I should have.
Yeah. Just keep calling him out for being a bad father.
So David wins by default, but that's not the point here.
No.
Funk checks on David and we cut to Mike Tenay and Arn Anderson wants a camera crew back from commercial.
Arn Anderson is something when he does a promo. Like, he wants everyone to want him. Do you understand what I say when I say that?
No.
Like, he wants undivided attention on him, which is, like, not wrong, but he thinks that what he's saying is the most important thing that you're gonna hear tonight. It's like, you better fucking listen to me. And what he says, usually he doesn't do it.
I mean, he's a legend of the business.
Sure, but that doesn't mean he's a legend on the mic. He's fine. But just, I've noticed that in the last couple of his promos, of like, no, you're going to look at me now. It's all about me. I have something to say. It's like he has to summon the backstage promo as opposed to it be like Mike Tay coming and finding him or Mean Gene coming like, hey, what do you have to say about this? He has to be like, no, I want to talk.
Yeah, I think a part of his style is he's just a little more non-coked up 80s.
Maybe, yeah.
So Arn says that Funk and Flair used to make him proud, but he's pissed off at Rick for letting that happen and being a general piece of shit. Arn also says he's bowing out of all of it, and what he saw made him sick.
I don't blame him. I mean, keep ragging on Ric Flair for being a bad father. He's being a bad father. Yeah,
it's basically like 2 of your friends are acting out, and you're like, no, I don't want to be part of this. Sort your shit out, and I'll be back in a few weeks.
Right.
We then get the Disco Inferno with the Mamalukes versus Stevie Ray with Big T.
Big T. I honestly didn't even notice that Big T was there.
Well, the entourages get together very early on.
Yeah. I didn't even notice Big T coming out with Stevie Ray. Wow. Completely.
Again, how?
I don't know.
The man's massive.
I don't know. He does not draw my eye. I don't think to look at him. I don't know.
He's bigger than the man they called 4x4.
I don't know. I just don't see him.
Which I'm realizing the name 4x4 would have been way funnier if he was really short. Like he was 4 feet wide and 4 feet tall.
Round as he is tall. Oh, God.
So, Russian leg sweep and a Brett's rope elbow from Disco. Stevie goes for a slapjack shot, but Disco hits a swinging neck breaker. Again, it's really difficult when the name of your finisher and the weapon you use are the same thing.
Yeah.
Disco goes for the slapjack weapon and is hit with the slapjack pedigree.
One of these things needs to change names.
Stevie wins.
Yeah, this was really lame. This was super lame.
You know, I feel like previously we had kind of wondered why Stevie Ray doesn't end up going to WWE.
I get it now.
Yeah.
Turns out Booker T was the one making him shine.
Yeah, I'm waiting for this to blow off, and then I don't know what's going to happen with that tag team.
Do you think Harlem Heat gets back together? Or does Stevie Ray just kind of disappear?
Well, I mean, I think they do Harlem Heat 2000 until that runs its course, and then...
So they do get back together?
Well,
no, you're saying Harlem Heat 2000 is this iteration.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that Booker and Stevie team back up?
No. I think Booker, at that point, enters the singles main event scene.
Do you think Stevie ever makes his way into the singles event scene?
He doesn't win a title.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
I don't think so.
So he just kind of drifts off into oblivion?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I wonder what Big T does. Does he go back to WWF?
No, he also just vanishes into the void.
I'm not sad about that.
Backstage, Jeff Jarrett talks to Scott Hall. Would you believe it? They mumble.
This one I did actually get some words out of. So Jeff Jarrett is talking to Scott Hall, and he's pissed that, like, it seems like the chairman or whatever is trying to drive the NWO apart by doing this. Like, they're against us. They're trying to ruin us from the inside. But Scott Hall is like, even if I win, the belt stays in the family, so it's okay, right? But Jeff Jarrett is not happy about that. Does not like that idea. So I did get the words on this mumble. The opposite of mumbles happens next.
Mean Gene interviews Sid.
He shouts.
It's really a coin toss of which one you're going to get.
This man's a cartoon. He's a cartoon character.
He mocks the NWO being a monster and just fucking yells. I love it.
I didn't hear any words because he was just yelling.
Yeah, but it brought me joy.
Yeah, I know. And that's why I like it. It makes you happy because I look over at you and you're giddy. But, like, this man's a cartoon. This guy could have been on Saturday morning television and just, like, shot off into space. I don't know. He's fucking He-Man. That's what he is. He's He-Man.
I swear he's more cartoony than he is in the 80s somehow.
Yes. Yes, he really is.
Ric Flair leaves. Why were you here? He was
You
just
never
here
came out.
so David, so they could do the story beat of him not being there for David.
Did Ric Flair never got on the mic, never left backsstage, never got in the ring, never even talked to Gene?
Nope.
Like, why were you here?
Well, he's on Thunder, and he cuts a promo there. And, Emily, who does he call out on Thunder? Goddamn Hulk Hogan. Let's go back to that again. Let's start a feud of Flair and Hogan.
Why? Hulk Hogan has 0 dogs in this fight. Why?
Because Hogan's clearly going to beat Luger, and then he needs something to do after that.
Get Hogan back on TV before we start setting up multiple feuds for him to start. No.
Yeah, right now you have a case of him feuding with 3 people.
I hate this. I don't want Hulk Hogan to come back. I want people to forget that Hulk Hogan exists and stop talking about him. Because I don't want to see his stupid hot dog face anymore. I don't want to do it.
Emily, get hype. We're
I don't want to do it in 2023 either. I'm tired of this man.
Considering we only have 2 months until Reboot Nitro, there will be a match, I believe. I know there's a segment. I believe there's also a match of Hulk Hogan versus The Wall. Let's go to our next match. It's Bam Bam Bigelow versus Brian Knobbs.
Reaping what he sows.
Finley is the guest referee
Again.
and it's for the hardcore title.
This is fucking stupid.
Can Bam Bam find a top? It's making me sad.
He's fine.
He looked great the other week, and now he's back to the bullshit t-shirts.
It looks like he got his head tattoo touched up this week.
I don't know how often he needs to do that.
I think you have to do with the head, like, more often than, like, it's like getting a hand tattoo, where it's a very, it's a surface that gets a lot of, like, wear and tear. Like, that's, like, direct sunlight, and it just gets faded very quickly. And it's very thin skin. So there's nothing for the ink to really hold on to. Like, if you get a hand tattoo, if you want to keep it, you have to get it touched up, like, fairly regularly. It fades really fast. But I'm assuming that's the same with the head. I don't know. I only have one tattoo. I don't know shit.
Brian Knobbs comes out in a cast, and I'll tell you one man who's going to be in a cast for the foreseeable future is Bryan Danielson.
Did you see those x-rays?
I have not.
Oh my God. So when you told me about that match, I thought it was just like a hairline fracture. I thought it was just like, damn, you broke your arm. That sucks. No, the bone is fully separated. It is fully off of each other. It's horrible. Brie posted it on her Instagram story, and she's like, Nurse Brie to the rescue. Like, no, get this man in the hospital. You should not be his nurse. Are you kidding? Oh my God.
This is not a fulfill your fantasy battle royal.
No, you gotta find that picture.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah, right? That's hella broken. Like, that's long time recovery broken.
Yeah, he's like, I'll be back in like 6 to 8 weeks.
No, you won't. No, you won't. Not with a break like that. Are you kidding? 6 to 8 months, maybe. There's
Anyway,
no other way to say it.
Like, I don't think Knobbs' arm is actually broken. I think this is
No,
just a
he
thing.
uses his cast as a weapon. There's no way.
Oh, true.
Yeah, he's not.
Bam Bam throws a can at Knobbs to start. Bam Bam works
Bonk.
over the cast of Knobbs. Knobbs crashes into a ladder that's thrown onto him, but
Bonk.
but Bam Bam bonks him with a trash can lid and some other weapon shots.
Just keeps yeeting shit.
Bam Bam kicks a ladder into Knobbs, and Finley helps Knobbs, but then hits Knobbs with a chair, and Bam Bam wins the title.
Having this like new soundbite with hardcore matches makes watching hardcore matches so much more fun. I love hardcore matches as it is, but when I say bonk, it just brings me so much joy. I love it.
Yeah, I wanted this to be more fun again.
Oh, no, it was not that fun. I made it fun.
Yeah.
If I wasn't saying bonk every time something was thrown or yeet, like, no.
Yeah, the title changing hands here didn't feel built to at all. It just felt like,
No.
let's get the title out of this story. I don't know.
Yeah, it just kind of felt secondary to the Brian Knobbs, Jeff Jarrett pseudo feud going on backstage.
That's not even, they're not going
That's
to
what
do
I'm
a
saying,
match.
pseudo. Like, it's a pseudo feud. Like, Brian Knobbs is feeling fucked over, and now he doesn't have the title.
Then get Lenny and Lodi taunting the Mamalukes backstage, and they brawl.
Cool. I didn't even make note of that. I didn't even know that happened.
And then our second and last match of the night, it is Kidman with Tori looking fine.
When is she not looking fine?
Looking more so this week.
Tori's gorgeous.
Versus the Demon. And I wrote, I'm just waiting for Vampiro to come out, but he doesn't.
No.
The Demon has the God of Thunder Kiss theme, and to me, it just sounds like the Demolition theme, which I'll have to play for you later.
Yeah, I guess so.
Have you hear them back to back. I'm like, oh, that like weirdly could be a good mashup. Backstage, Crowbar is seen rocking out to the song.
Yeah, Crowbar has apparently become like a super big Demon fanboy. Him looking at the casket was him idolizing the Demon, I guess.
But with God of Thunder playing, Lenita Erickson takes note.
Lita.
No. So for context, I just finished reading the WCW Nitro book.
Oh, you finished it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And there's somebody who is inserted into the end of WCW, and I told you a little bit about this, that it just feels made up. It was like a Kiss groupie. Somehow almost runs WCW.
Yes, you did. You did mention this. I did not. You never told me your name.
Lenita Erickson.
Lenita.
Yeah,
Sounds like you're trying to be Lita, but fancy.
We will. I guess we'll chat more about her when we actually get to her in storyline.
Oh, we'll get there.
Because she actually appears on a single Thunder doing a backstage interview.
Yeah.
Tony calls Kidman the greatest in-ring performer in WCW right now. And I'm like, yeah, I will hear an argument for that.
Yeah.
I think I'd put him in the top 5 and not necessarily the greatest. Because we were kind of talking, like, depends on define active, like in WCW, that implies people who are at the company but are...
So I think that greatest performer in WCW right now means greatest performer in WCW that is currently actively wrestling. So not Ric Flair, not Sting, not Hogan. Like, no, none of those guys that are just kind of on the back burner.
Yeah.
Billy Kidman is actively wrestling every week and actively putting on excellent matches. So yeah, he is the best worker right now.
I put DDP,
he does not do a good.
I
He
put
doesn't do a
DDP ahead of
promo.
him.
I don't know.
I'll hear the argument though.
DDP is great. Like, don't get me wrong. And DDP has the promo over Billy. But I think for in-ring spectacle of like matches, I don't think that you can even like hold a candle to Billy Kidman.
Oh, and Ray was the other one that we were like...
But he's not active.
Yeah, of like the top 5 right now, unless we're missing somebody obvious, it's in no particular order. Kidman, Flair, Sting, DDP, and Ray.
Sure. I agree with that.
You know what? I was going to say I feel bad not throwing Booker in that kind of in that chat. I think Booker just hasn't had a lot of chances now.
He hasn't. I would make him like a close 6 and potentially like an alternate.
Yeah. And admittedly, they don't know that Bret Hart is gone forever yet.
We do, though.
Yeah. But what about Jeff Jarrett, Emily?
Listen, Slapnuts.
Look, he's better than most, but he's not there.
He's awful. No, I don't like Jeff Jarrett. Absolutely not. He doesn't have the charisma. He doesn't have the in-ring skill. He's nothing to me.
My problem is he's like a 7 out of 10 in every category.
A 7 is a C. He's a C player.
So to this match, the Demon really misses an elbow drop, and Kidman hits Kidman faction. DDT from the Demon, side slam, and Kidman stops the Demon from going up top. Top rope Frankensteiner, and Kidman wins pretty quickly.
Yeah, this was a very quick match.
It's quicker on Thunder.
Really?
3 seconds.
What?
Bam Bam pins the Demon in 3 seconds.
Bam! Wow.
Hits him with a crutch. Pin. That's it.
Wow. They don't want to do the Kiss Demon anymore. I want to read this contract. I want to read the contract that says they have to keep the Kiss Demon.
He still hasn't got his special main event, Emily.
Wow.
It's got to be this show. The weirdest thing is, I know he stays around, so why?
3 seconds. That's impressive. That's honestly impressive.
So post-match, Crowbar attacks Kidman and appeals to the Demon, but the Demon just leaves. But you're going to lose in 3 seconds on Thunder. You could use the help.
Crowbar, you are better than this man. You don't need this. You don't need to idolize this man. He is no idol.
I don't have the context for this, admittedly. I wrote, backstage, Sid is fucking losing it.
Sid just gets like a camera close-up. Like he's losing his mind and he's just, his whole face is the screen.
The NWO mumble?
Yeah.
Stop it.
I don't fucking know what they said.
Go back in time, buy them all lavalier mics. Like, wear it. Wear it right now.
Talk into it.
I don't trust them to fucking hold the handheld close enough.
No, absolutely not.
It's like
Walking
those sisters,
backstage, no way.
It's like those sisters from The Voice that I worked with that couldn't figure out how to hold a microphone to their fucking mouths. I forget what their names were. You could look them up. They're
twins on The Voice.
They wanted to sing the national anthem and then held the mic 4 feet away from their faces.
And they didn't.
And guess what? It feedbacked. That's how microphones work.
They didn't have that much like power behind their voice either, so it did not work.
Ugh,
anyway. Let's not shit on random girls singing the national anthem.
Speaking of people who don't work, Miss Elizabeth, she's here with the total package. They come out to the ring. We see a minimal recap of Thunder. They don't really show any of the promo here, though. Like, we saw a little bit in the opening package.
Yeah,
but
I'd love to see the promo. I'd love to. The pyro for Lex doesn't really work. And when it doesn't work, it looks so sad. Like, it's just like a plume of smoke as opposed to like any kind of like fire or sparkle or anything. And it doesn't come out of all of the cannons. It just looks really pathetic.
Luger has a mic and a Hulkamania chair. Different.
Yeah, why does he have a Hulkamania chair?
He had the Sting chair.
Yeah, why is he doing chairs? Why is he spending money on theming chairs?
He's been Pillmanizing people's arms with the chair.
Oh, so this one's for Sting's arm. This one's for Hogan's. Oh, okay, sure.
But he did the Sting one after he already did the thing to Sting.
Sure, I don't know.
Luger says Hogan made a mistake of questioning Luger. Luger then says he's won every major title, which is a thing we've talked about before, because he had previously said he's held every major title, and I'm like, well, technically you held it, but you didn't win it.
We love technicalities on this show.
But here he says he won them. Like, no.
No, well, you're wrong there.
Well, he won a match for it, but he won it by DQ, so does that, or sorry, by count out.
That doesn't count.
He generally flexes and taunts Hogan, and then he calls out Jimmy Hart.
Oh, I hated this.
Who's working as just like a backstage producer. This felt super random because we haven't seen the two of them paired up in a long time.
We haven't seen Jimmy Hart in a long time, and Luger calls him out to like be Hogan's mouthpiece, I guess.
He's like, you guys are friends, and it's like, yeah, but they haven't been on-screen friends in a long while.
This is not Jimmy Hart. This is James Hart. This is not Jimmy. Jimmy is the flamboyant guy and like with the mullet and the glasses and the extra suit and the bam, bam, bam. Like, that's Jimmy Hart. This is James. James is just trying to do his damn job.
Yeah, he comes out wearing a backstage headset and like...
Yeah, and like a work polo.
Yeah.
He literally looks like he was working. He probably was.
Jimmy says he doesn't deliver messages, but is Hogan's best friend, and calls Luger a Hulk Hogan wannabe.
So are they like best friends in real life?
Ed Leslie in shambles.
So this is the kind of part that made me smile. And I don't like that it made me smile. I don't like that Hulk Hogan made me smile. At Raw 30, they had all the superstars like of the ages coming out and just like kind of waving at the audience, just like, I'm here. Hulk Hogan came out with Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
At Raw 30. And like if they were like real life best friends, like that's
they are legitimately very good friends.
That's a really sweet moment then.
But
I'm like, oh, you guys are old friends. That's
no,
so nice.
my brain immediately went to Ed Leslie, and I'm like, Ed Leslie's like, excuse me, I'm his best friend.
Excuse me?
I was his kayfabe brother multiple times.
Brother.
I was his brother.
But yeah, that made me smile. I love seeing old men be friends. I don't know.
So Jimmy taunts Lex until Luger attacks him and puts in the torture rack to no reaction.
The audience is asleep. They could not care less.
The only thing they've been told is Jimmy Hart going, I'm his best friend. It's like, yeah?
Okay. And
Again,
they're calling out Hogan, but Hogan's not here, so like, okay.
I cannot stress enough. They have not been seen together on screen in 4-5 years?
Yeah.
Hogan Havoc 95.
Jeez.
It's with the Giant. He turns on Hogan. That's the last time they were together.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yikes.
So, yeah.
How would anybody know, like, to care about this?
Yeah, you need to just take his word for it. And like, it doesn't mean it. They're going for the Triple H attacking Jim Ross to get to Austin kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work.
Right.
He Pillmanizes Jimmy Hart's wrist, and this just kind of came off lame. And just, it didn't get the heat it wanted.
No, it was really, really sad. Like I said, the audience was dead asleep. They did not care. It just needed to be over. Like, Lex Luger's not as big of a deal as he thinks he is.
That's kind of his whole career.
This is just sad.
I know there's just like random spans of like 4 months where he gets stupid over, and I don't get it. But let's go to our main event. It is Sid Vicious versus Scott Hall for the WCW title.
Woo!
Hall comes out to the Wolfpack theme. Yeah, I'm realizing that I guess him and Nash never really had any non-NWO themes.
No.
Hall throws a pick in Sid's face, so Sid decks him. He had a 10-punch spot, and Sid dominates Hall early on, including hitting a choke slam.
Early. Like, it's like the second or third move.
Yeah. We get a poke to the eye from Hall, and then he gets sit up for the last call fall-away slam, which clips the referee. We're like, yep, that's about right.
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett comes out, and the two work Sid over around ringside.
While the ref is still out.
Yes. We get an outsider's edge to Sid, but the ref is still down. Mild spoilers in general for any of our wrestling watching. The Razor's Edge / Outsider's Edge, I believe, has a 100% like non-kick out rate.
Oh.
Because if Scott Hall was not winning a match, he would not do the move, or would do the move to where that wasn't the finish, and that the ref would still be out, like here.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was like, I'm not winning, I'm not doing it.
Interesting. Okay.
Because he goes for the pin, Jeff Jarrett interrupts it and hits Hall with a guitar, and then puts Sid on top of Scott Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Sid wins.
Sid wins via dissension.
I do not follow what the hell happened there.
I'm like kind of intrigued, but not super.
Was this just Jeff Jarrett not wanting to be the one that loses the belt? Or no, I guess that doesn't make any sense. If Hall had won that, he would be more powerful in the NWO than Jeff Jarrett.
I guess.
Is this Jeff Jarrett trying to preserve his power?
I guess.
That's the only storyline I can think of.
Yeah, and then they continue or undercut that on Thunder because Kevin Nash is back, books Scott Hall and Jeff Jarrett in the main event, and the winner faces Sid at the pay-per-view. However, that ends in a no contest, so I think they're going to do a triple threat.
Yeah, no, that would make sense. I don't know. I didn't watch the rest of Thunder. Like, was there anything else after I stopped watching that was worth noting? Because I watched, I feel like, most of it.
I kind of hit all
half
the
an hour.
spots.
Yeah, I thought, okay, that's what I figured. Because I know I stopped watching at some point, but you haven't said anything that I didn't know, so I guess it was a pretty lame ending.
Yeah. This was a pretty nothing match, though, between these two.
Yes, it was.
Overall, this was not a good show.
It was a filler show, and I feel like they've all been filler shows, so what are we filling to?
Yeah, I'm like, maybe there's a reason we don't hear about this era.
Maybe, but that doesn't mean that it shouldn't be documented. Like, somebody should be talking about this. It should be on Wikipedia. Come on. Like, there are people out there that have less to do with their time than we do.
And admittedly, the Nitro book was of no help during this era because they just go straight from he got fired to like.
And they don't mention this era in Death of WCW either.
Yeah, like it's all really much in passing. Like pretty much the Radicals leave and then Russo comes back according to like all
of
these
the
things.
books, but like months happen in between that.
But any closing thoughts on this show before we go to Best Bit MVP?
I'm ready for the FAF. I miss the FAF.
Yeah, can't say I'm super hyped for this pay-per-view.
No,
I would not buy it if I was watching.
Absolutely not. How many weeks do we have to pay-per-view?
So next week's the go-home show.
Wow.
We got Luger, Hogan, probable triple threat, Funk, Flair, Norman Smiley in 3 count, maybe Tank Abbott and Big Al. Oh, Tank Abbott's in a match. Somebody commented on one of our posts like, "Can't wait for you guys to review that." And I'm like, "Shut up! Why do you want that?"
It's not going to be good, is it?
Oh yeah, Tank Abbott match. I'm sure it's gonna be great, Emily.
Maybe it'll be quick. Maybe it'll put us out of our mercy fast. Maybe
Billy Kidman Vampiro if that feud comes back.
Maybe.
But yeah, we still have a Nitro in between there. So
God, kill me.
Let's go to Best Bit, Worst Bit, and MVP. Emily, what do you got?
So you're going to say that my best bit's not a good enough bit. My best bit is Scott Steiner's hat. That's it. That's the bit. That's the bit. It made me laugh. It made you choke. That's the bit.
I think it's partially because I didn't know when it was going to happen. I'd seen the image before.
You've seen that hat before?
I'd seen the image before, but I didn't know when the hell it showed up.
Oh baby.
So
I was unprepared.
Yeah.
What did you pick for your best bit?
I gave it to Terry Funk versus David Flair for trying to tell an interesting story.
Sure.
Emily, what's your worst bit?
Brian Knobbs just being so dumb.
Oh, yeah?
That backstage segment with Brian Knobbs and Jeff Jarrett where they're just like, remember last week, let's do it again. Worst.
All right, I'm amazed we don't have the same one.
What's yours?
Oklahoma still being a thing.
I try to forget that he exists. If I say his name too many times, he just like continues to be here. So if I just ignore him, he's gone.
And Emily, who is your MVP?
I gave it to Sid.
You gave it to Sid?
I did give it to Sid.
Wow.
I'm not sure I've ever done that before.
I don't think, probably not.
He brought some life back to the show. Much needed life. This was a very lame show. And Sid made me think that it was a little less lame for a minute.
I gave mine to Booker just for continuing to hang in there.
Just for being here.
Putting on, you know, I don't know that it's necessarily exciting matches, but I enjoy watching him in the ring. And so, you know, got a decent match out of the wall, so.
Yeah, that's true. That's a skill on its own.
What world is this? I gave it to Booker, you give it to Sid.
I know, this should be swapped. But this kind of like nullifies these MVPs though.
But that's going to do it for this episode of the Butts in the Seats podcast. Next up, the Valentine's Day Nitro.
Ooh! Chavo. No.
We haven't seen him in a while either.
No, we've not. He
was
selling
a salesman.
anything. Yeah. He sold out.
Death of a salesman. Oh no.
Oh no.
Until then, you can listen to all our back catalog on
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, the new one that I don't remember.
Deezer.
Deez nuts. No.
You do that joke every time you mention.
It's because it's funny. Samsung podcast? Did I
yes.
say that?
I don't know. It felt like you missed another one, but whatever. It's fine. And where can they follow us on social media?
You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Butts in the Pod. You can find us on Facebook at Butts in the Seats Podcast. Yeah, those are all of our social medias.
Yeah. We'll be updating anything in regards to the upcoming Patreon on there.
Woohoo! We're working on it.
We did not mention that we did NXT Season 3 at all during this.
No, we did do that. So if you have not listened to our recap of NXT Season 3, we actually go through the entire season. We watched that whole thing and decided we needed to talk about it.
Emily, you want to do Season 4 too?
No, I don't. I do not. But yeah, that NXT episode is a bit of a preview of what's going to be coming on our Patreon, where I pick programming for us to watch and make Nick sit through.
Until I stop regretting that. And until the next episode of the Butts in the Seats podcast, I'm Nick.
I'm Emily.
And thanks for listening to the Butts in the Seats podcast.
Woohoo, bye!